Going for the melee, stabs them in the kneecap. Destructible Lux. What you got to do, though, is you really there you go. Great Christmas was able to go ahead.
Got a melee fight for the ages here as Oob and that are going at it. Exchanging blows.
Oh, and Smith with a clutch play to save the airhead.
79, yes, with the cap. 79th with the cap.
Good evening, everyone out there in the universe. My name is Night Falcon, and appreciate you joining us for this production of The Nest. All my Nest crew out there, I hope everything's going well for you guys and that you're having a good old time. Thought I'd try something a little new here in the Hell at Loose environment. Wanted to try to bring something that really wasn't there in terms of competitive Hell at Loose and just in general. There's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things like to slide through the cracks. So what I wanted to do is bring together for no more than like a 30 minutes. And we'll see if this continues like in a video format or in just a podcast version, something down the line. We're playing with it. It's a work in progress as we go about it. But unlike a lot of my other broadcasts, this is very much a live stream. I can see your comments as you guys pop up in. So feel free as we're going through today, feel free to throw stuff in the comments. I'll do my best to go ahead and respond to them and just have fun with you guys here for 30 minutes as we go over some of the stuff and action over the last weekend here of the Hell at Loose community and Hell at Loose competitive sphere. So with that, let's jump in and talk about some of the very first things I want to go through. So we're going to show a couple highlights first. Things that got sent to me, things that I pulled from various matches. Then we will go through it. We'll talk through the leagues and the matches that occurred. Talk about the scores, a couple stats and whatnot, and we'll try to tie it all up together, bring it in. I won't do too much about talking about the week ahead, just simply because there's other people that kind of do that. If that's a direction we end up wanting to go, we'll explore that. But today, very first episode, it's going to be me alone. In the future, hopefully we'll have a few other people with us, but for now you just have to listen to my voice, whether good or bad. So let's jump into it. Very first thing I want to show is going to be, let's pop this sucker out of studio mode. Let's go to my desktop here. All right. Desktop audio is on. So we'll talk about this here in a minute. Stats. The very first one comes from Biggs of the 79th. It has a couple different things I wanted to show here. Just to have some fun here. So Biggs, initial thing going here, something that we all experience here in the Hell at Loose world. We see people, we try to shoot people, have a hard time hitting people, whether it be high ping, whether what issues come around. So gives you another option here of showing you how you can go about eliminating those guys.
Right
Check out the bazooka.
I'd like to see him fucking try.
Hear that nice little click on the backside. Let you know you finished that kill. So well done there, Beaks, on that. Also Beaks with another AT highlight here.
Damn, they're left of ROP. They're closing in.
First one a little bit off, but
Goofy,
let
watch
this be
it.
a little
One guy spawned in over
note
there.
to all of you guys at home. Just keep on shooting that gun.
Shit.
Never know what kind of things are going to happen.
Got him.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So well done, Biggs. Thanks for sending that over. Now, in terms of other highlights, let's go through and talk a little bit about some things that I was sent from Whippy, Ohio, a fellow caster here that's been doing a few things out there. Sent me this clip of the MSU TFMC matchup. So MSU is going to be in the red there, casting from the TFMC side. And we get a little backyard Stuart shenanigans going on here that eventually leads to the point opening up. So I'll go ahead and step back for a moment.
Skin shady on top of the tank gets taken out.
Let you guys just go ahead and watch this.
The Stuart as well, getting the shots into the back of the Tiger. That Tiger does get taken out. That P4 is going to have to react to this. Rack Lions Lad gets a 1 rocket into the Stuart. Racken gets taken out. P4 looking for the angle, doesn't have it though.
So, nice and simple. Don't let every little bit, like even the small little things, kind of cascade down. This was a great match, by the way. If you didn't get the chance to look at it, I won't say, but essentially this opens up the door that allows MSU to kind of come in and have a little bit of fun towards the end of that matchup. So it's the trickle approach, taking out some of those giant tanks. I mean, a Stuart coming in, punching above its weight, taking out a Tiger. I mean, you'll love to see that kind of stuff. So great work here on the MSU side to go ahead and try to weed out some of the issues that were preventing them to get into a relatively hard point of Pierre's farm and able to get themselves up and make that a very exciting end of the match. So with that, guys, make sure you're going to go and see that. Whippy Ohio's channel there. It's got the full replay for you. Next one I wanted to bring up here is one from a match that I casted. Martin Brown here. The wrenches of Kursk can be a nightmare. Kursk in itself is a nightmare for infantry. But usually when you're in trenches and you're kind of fighting off a good number of people, it's difficult to kind of hold the advantage and end up on the right side of that, especially if you got multiple people coming at you. So Martin Brown here shows us a little bit about how we can go about handling that situation. So with that, I'll turn it over to the clip here for you. A little incursion of blueberries here, led by SAP Polani. Pillow 1. Oh, big rocket from Martin de Brown. Goed gedaan, Hart. With the excellent rocket going and mowing down that entire blueberry push there from Martin. Able to repeat, getting one more as Ducino able to go ahead and dodge the rocket that sails over, but Martin and Ducino eliminating each other. So it ended up being 1 versus 5, 6 there. Martin Brown able to go ahead and use that big boom boom stick to go ahead and try to equalize that fight out, taking a number of guys with him. Don't discount the ability of the Panzerschreck or the bazooka in its ability to control infantry. I know for me, for one, if I'm sitting and running across a road or trying to get past a hedge, if I hear a rocket fly above my head, normally causes me to go ahead and duck, even though it probably was nowhere near actually hitting me. It causes me to flinch. So let that be a lesson to you. Take some time, use it as a force multiplier, and get in there and do some damage with it. Also, another reason why I pulled this one out is right at the very end there, unfortunately. But Martin probably the most unfortunate trade I've ever kind of had the chance to focus on here. I mean, I've covered plenty of trades here throughout the course of these games, but this one in particular, it stung a little bit because you get the kill with the rifle and the bazooka at the same time. I could only imagine what it was like there for Ducino thinking, oh, I got the kill just to be blown up by a rocket. So go out there, have fun, use everything at your disposal. All right. The next one I wanted to bring up is going to be what I call, it might become an official segment of this. It might not become an official segment. We'll see how this kind of goes. But at our hearts, we're all still blueberries. And no matter how good you try to be, we all still have our funny moments that make us kind of step back and think for a second and honestly just laughed at ourselves. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this matchup from 263 and Rage here. We got the friendly commander Terror here ends up spotting a enemy half track.
Oh, I see. Half track.
So let's see how this goes.
Okay. Half track does That's crazy. Half track kills yourself. Beautiful jacket though. But the half track is still alive, unfortunately.
So Commander Terror steps up, tries to do what he can to go ahead and eliminate an enemy half track that's sitting behind his point, sitting behind their point as they're trying to take it. But following a precision strike, unfortunately blows it up on the same transport truck that he brought into the point, killing himself and said transport truck, supply truck, and leaving the entire target of that precision strike unscathed. So the Blueberry Award for the weekend does go to Terror. Terror, we appreciate the wonderful clip there and appreciate your sacrifice, and know that we've all been there. We're all still blueberries at heart, and hope that you can get a good laugh out of that little segment there. Hopefully you enjoy yourself and don't be too hard on yourself there. So, and finally, the number one clip that I wanted to that got sent to me that I felt like was ultimately kind of over the top, the best clip I saw from the weekend here, is going to come here from the 508
all the way out
RMC matchup here. And so if we kind of back up just a little bit here, Smelling Wood here must have been working on his cardio, because this guy ran all the way across the map, and so jumping back about a minute and a half in the overall timing of things, Smelling Wood's going to try to get a satchel on this 76, and due to the wonderful nature of what we have and our ability to fast forward here,
Simpin up you says, I do not wish to smell your wood. Take a shower, buddy.
so here in a second we're just going to see 76 still moving along, trying to do everything he can to get away, unbeknownst to them.
This Smelling Wood single-handedly pushing this heavy tank.
Pulls this 76
all the way
into
out.
his buddy.
To the other heavy tank. Is Smelling Wood going to get this on? See if he's going to trick him. Wait for him to get out. Absolutely insane. Smelling Wood tells Chili's crew, well, if you don't want to smell it, Ryan King's crew can. Defending the satchel from two heavies. The absolute madman of Smelling Wood. Oh no! Smelling Wood is gonna get this. Mistborn trying to get out in time. Wow. I gotta give a clap here.
So the definition of when one door closes, another door very well could open. So don't let that dissuade you. Don't be afraid to run across the field trying to track down that tank. You never know what kind of option's going to end up on your front door, basically. So he trades 176 for the other 76. At the end of the day, Smelling Wood's doing pretty good. Ends up having a good old time. So as far as it goes for highlights, that's all that I have for you guys today. If you guys are in your games, you see these things better than I do. If you get a cool clip, by all means send it in. I'm more than happy to feature you here on the show, give you some time, really give you some screen time. At the end of the day, that's what we all want. All want to be able to see ourselves up on the big screen, even though it's some random talking head on the internet. And I'm here for you. Plus, I want to showcase the best of the community. So, challenge to you guys. You make a big play in a competition match, send it on over. I want to see it. If I don't get you into the broadcast, I'll for sure get you into a short. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the last week of matchups. So, we're going to start in the Winter War League, Division 1. So, as it currently stands, Division 1 featuring EXO 9PZ, 101A, 7PD, and 75th. EXO currently leading out 4 wins, 0 losses. 9PZ right up there as well, running in second. 101A, 2-2, and 7 and 75th, both kind of working, trying to get in the swing of things to help themselves out a little bit. As far as the last week in matchups, I thought I had the actual stuff up for it, but who knows, maybe in my Giants mad dash of trying to pull everything up, ended up pulling some things here. All right. So week 6 was last. Okay, that's coming up here. So as far as it goes for actual matches that happened last week, it was actually technically an off week for the Winter War League, but that's probably the reason why I'm having a hard time remembering, because it was an off week for them. But I wanted to make sure we kind of highlighted where their current standings are, give a little bit of exposure to them. So Division 1, EXO leading that one out. Division 2, 27th, and Rage leading that one out. 27th being 3-1, Rage 2-1. I know there have been a few that have kind of dropped out throughout the course of Winter War League, and so definitely some teams trying to do well to keep themselves up on the up and up there. And then a few that have kind of moved into the off-season play already or moved into other leagues that we'll cover here in a moment. Division 4 here, 626 leading out, undefeated so far. Leading against DBD, OCL, and RZN. And Division 5, PZLD leading out the group there, 5-0 at the moment. All right, let's move over to Road to Glory. This is another group, another league that I've actually had a lot of fun covering the last little bit. I've been able to do a couple matches for them. The whole concept behind this league is that teams don't know what the map is going to be until flip, basically. So they're both thrown into a map and they just kind of have to wing it. They have to run off their best, the best understanding of the maps. No more of this week-long, 2-week-long planning out every single garrison, every single AT gun. This is a jump right into it, play it how it is, and best team that's able to adapt ends up on top. So week 4 results. TRR facing off against the 75th. TRR coming up, unfortunately, a little bit short there to 75th, losing at 2-3. 21st and RSG coming out winning 5-0. OCL and Dog winning that 5-0. And L201, SCH coming out on top there. So how does that play into the overall scheme of things? So far, 75th winning with 3-1 to actually tied for first place with them, TRR and RSG, both of them having 15 total points. Points are based off of the like final scores, whether they're 2-3, 5-0. So a whole bunch that kind of goes into that. But to have a 3-way tie for first place going into week 4 or 5, not a bad thing to have. Makes for some good competition. OCL, 21st, Dog, all definitely have very winnable games coming up. I've been able to cast a couple for Dog. I know I saw the one that they had for their win. They had a good fight against TRR. TRR did end up winning that 5-0, but I believe it took the majority of the match. So highly suggest you guys take a look at that league matchup next time you see something roll across, whether it be from me or another streamer. Take a look at it. You won't regret it. Finally, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the off-season competitive league. I know it's a big one for a lot of people out there right now, as a lot of teams seem to be moving into it. There are some other leagues that are slowly getting up and going. I didn't want to steal Brown's thunder by going in and talking about the World Cup Dome. I know he was looking to do a recap of that, but I'll look to be moving in and try to also help recap some of those as well here, especially because you'll see some other streamers popping up and doing some of that. But looking at just week 1 options right here. So Division 1, Roth's Dark Horse, 7th, MSU, all coming out on top of their respective matchups. TFMC, 9PZ, 101A, and ZR. 6th was on a bye, so they did not have anything there. But a lot of close matchups. I did show the TFMC and the MSU matchup earlier. That one did end in a 2-3. Again, not going to fully spoil what happened there, even though you could probably put the pieces together by now. Well, she's saying, okay, OCL dropped from RTG, but leaving them in the standings. That makes sense. And we saw that with a couple other there in the other standings that we saw the Winter War League. And then he's probably mentioning towards the Road to Glory that we just talked about. But some pretty good matchups here going all in all, it's good to see kind of Roth's back up there in that Div 1 area after spending a season there in 35. It's good to see them moving back up into the 49s. I know we at the 22nd love to play them, and look forward to playing more scrims with them here in the future. As far as Division 2 goes, Rage 508P 27th, SAP, and 79th all ending up on top. I know particularly that 79th and the 11 ID matchup, that one was a very fun 2-3. 11th ID almost came in right at the very end and caught that one. That one was casted by Whippy Ohio as well. Would highly recommend you guys take a look at that stream. That was a fun one. Lots of good action back and forth. Kit Carson on the MG still, I'm sure, are giving plenty of people, or not Kit Carson, Protein Bar, I think is who it was. We'll talk about that here in a second. Actually, on the MG, still probably haunting plenty of 11 ID players with some of the spots that he was able to find throughout the course of that match. So good matchups overall. Division 2. Looking forward to kind of seeing where those ones end up. OCL, WRT, PZLD, GOAT, DVR, all ending up on top of their respective games as well. But again, very first week matchups. It's yet to see where everybody else goes in this. So very excited to kind of see how the rest of that OCSL schedule breaks out, and just where teams end up. First stat I wanted to pull up, though, this one's going to be from the 101A, I believe is where I ended up pulling it from. Nope, this is the TFMC. Okay. I've spent the last 20 minutes telling you I'm not going to give you what the result of this matchup was. I'm going to throw it on the bus. Here we go. We're going to talk about it. So, eventually we had MSU winning that one 3-2 over TFMC there in the last few minutes. Again, that's one of the reasons why it was such a good matchup and such a fun one. Great one to go look if you're doing. So multiple people running over 100 kills on the guns. Let's see. Wolf, what was... Okay, so we had, so one of the things about OCSL is they don't have static artillery guns. So everybody here was either doing it with the SPA, which is what we're looking at. Wolf and Viking. Looks like they were able to pop out 101 kills. Kane, able to do it with a bar and M1 ground and Browning. It looks like he was playing with every single club in the bag. So definitely leading out for a lot of fun. But overall, let's talk about the general statistics. So infantry, MSU did end up coming out winning as far as the infantry kills go by just about 122. So they definitely held the edge there. Looks like the TFMC machine gunners gave them a hard time, though, narrowly edging out the machine gunners of MSU, but nonetheless still having the advantage. Armor, again, just kind of going to show how vital those armor crews are, winning by about 70 kills there, going advantage MSU. Snipers coming up big. Doesn't look like TFMC decided to run anybody on the sniper side with his Falco. Sounds like another Falcon, a member of the Falcon family. I'm happy to adopt you into it. At the end of the day, I was having this conversation with some other guys in the 22nd. We all end up with a Falcon name at some time. So if you're not already on it, by all means, you are part of the nest. Might as well just adopt it, embrace it. Commander, fairly equal. Grenades equal. Bazookas, though, TFMC came out big, came out firing with those, and we saw that at the end of the clip. That Stewart was already getting pounded with stuff. So another example, make sure you guys are firing those bazookas. Satchel's also doing a lot of good work. Mines, though, for TFMC, I'm sure that really caused a lot of headaches there for the MSU guys running around. And this goes to show you here exactly, again, I talk about the kill differentials, compares the top player of each team, compares their stats to each other, what the differences in those are, and pretty well across the board. I mean, MSU does get kind of the middle of that bell curve of your middle group people, but TFMC basically topping out. And a lot of these, especially through the middle, 37, 38, these are 1 kill differences. So just goes to show how close that game was. And a lot of times you might not see it on a scoreboard, but this definitely scoreboard for you. Definitely going to show you how close that was. So in order to wrap this up here, last couple minutes, last game I wanted to highlight here. This is going to be actually that 79th versus 11 ID. another thing I'll kind of throw out there for those of you guys watching here now in the future, if you have a matchup and it was really close, the stats look really cool. I don't have access to all these stats. Sometimes they're a little more difficult for me to get. So if you're not sending a clip, feel free to send these stat pages over to me. More than happy to bring them up. But yeah, protein bar, as I called it out here earlier, to give you kind of an insight on how this matchup went. There was officially only one cap, and that was 79's cap that they got right off the bat, and they were able to hold that for the course of 90 minutes. However, don't let that fool you. Within the last 10 minutes, 11 ID had that sucker up as far as about halfway capped, to try to get that pushed over the edge and get that into their wind column. So it was very, very much an exciting match. Protein bar, though, maniac with the machine gun. Bed, who has recently come into the 79th group, I know has some allegiances and groups in the past that he's worked with, but also coming out doing pretty well. And you know, I haven't noticed anything about anybody in the 79th complaining about this guy named Haiping, but I think that maybe he might have been causing him a little bit of headaches. I don't know, but I feel like he was kind of everywhere in that matchup, and plenty of you guys saw his name pop up against the screen. So ultimately, let's pop real fast in the general stats. Infantry kills going to the allies, actually. 11 ID ending up with just about 104 kills more than the infantry of the Axis. However, where that kind of gets eaten up is, again, protein bar and the other MGs of the 79th going ham and just kind of eating the everything when it comes to 11 ID, really trying to prevent them from getting across the fields up into Elsenborn, the road to, I think it was the far left point. I think it's the road to Elsenborn or something like that. I can't remember. My brain is not getting the right thing right here. But anyway, allies had to get across a lot of open fields, and those machine guns ate. Armor for the 11th ID did come in pretty good, almost doubling the kills for the Axis, but they were also forced to move around, and because of that, they kept getting taken out. So they were splashing up into the point, doing a lot of damage to the 79th, trying to get into the hard cap. 79th's tanks were able to stick back, kind of hold their angles, really put it to the tanks after they get those shots. But at the end of the day, as far as kills go, armor advantage to the 11 ID there. But overall, end of the day, if you've ever seen a closer matchup, this just kind of goes to show exactly how close that matchup was. Every single division here, it's only 4 or 5 kills difference with each level as you go down. So if you're like me and you're somebody that likes to kind of see how a story looks from the numbers perspective, I highly suggest looking up those stats, seeing what you can do there. And as far as it goes for looking up stats, something I want to bring up to you guys, if you're not familiar with it, I'll put it into the description of the video here, is going to be the Hell Let Loose records page. And so let's go here real fast. This is somewhere right here that you guys are able to pull up your own stats. You can get ideas of what your kills per minute. That's one that I often like to talk about when it comes to stats, whether it be on your server or player. I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet here. Let's go ahead and pull it up here, just to kind of give you an idea of what you can kind of expect if you pop into this. It will tell you when you're first seen, for those of you in the competitive sphere, if the server is matched up and is listed as a competitive server, it will list it towards the competitive Hell Let Loose side of things. But then it will tell you recent matches played. It will tell you who's killed you the most, who you've killed the most, what your highest kill streaks are. Hopefully for some of you guys, you'll see more numbers on like the 100 kill plus matches. It gives you the ability to track your stats, and frankly, anybody else that you ever wanted to check, you can go ahead and look at. This is, I believe this has both PC and stats from the console side. Of course, we're on the console side. But at the end of the day, that's going to do it for the very first initial poll of this after action report. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I have. We'll kind of see how this goes in the future, what things are kind of brought up. Definitely will look to try to bring on some other fellow casters. If you have something that you feel like would benefit this, or you feel like would be beneficial, send it to me in a chat. I'm more than willing to host and make this be all about what you guys want to see in these matchups. My goal is to do them weekly. We'll kind of see where that goes. I've got a busy life. I've got a kid on the way. We'll kind of see what happens there. Maybe it's once every 2 weeks to give you a brief update on things. But this show really is built up on trying to showcase what you guys were able to do over the course of the last weekend in Hell Let Loose competitive matches. So don't be afraid. Brag about yourself. Send me stuff. I want to try to showcase it, give you that avenue to get your stuff seen. But with that, appreciate you guys for spending a half hour with me here today. And look forward to seeing you guys next time out there on the battlefield. So appreciate it. We'll see ya.